We send our heartfelt prayers to the people who lost their lives in the tragic Ahmedabad plane crash. The souls have gone to heaven now. It is undoubtedly a dark day for all of us. As many of you know, Air India flight AI 177, scheduled to fly from Ahmedabad to London Gatwick, crashed shortly after takeoff. Tragically, 241 people on board lost their lives. Only one person survived. He managed to get off the plane just in time. No one else was saved, not the pilots, nor the crews, nor the passengers. The plane crashed into a government medical college that housed medical residents who were there for lunch. According to the reports, more than 20 people on ground were killed and many others were injured. The college had CCTV footage capturing students playing table tennis who were visibly shocked by the crash. One girl who was walking in the corridor slipped through falling debris. Cars parked outside were badly damaged as debris came through. It was a disaster of an entirely different magnitude. Just a kilometer away from the college was Civil Hospital. Dr. KP, a doctor at the hospital, shared that he was sitting by the window when he saw the plane crashing and a thick black smoke rising. Within seconds, his phone started ringing, family, friends, and colleagues checking in to make sure he was safe. He was visibly shaken and could hardly believe what had happened. Many victims were rushed to the hospital immediately. Several were badly burned, and some who were still alive when brought in were later declared dead. Only one survived. Union Home Minister Amit Shah reached Ahmedabad on the same day, 12th June. He visited the lone survivor, inspected the debris, and took stock of the damage. Prime Minister Narendra Modi arrived the following day, 13 June. He met the lone survivor as well. The Aviation Minister has declared a thorough investigation that will be launched immediately to understand how this horrifying incident occurred, how 241 lives were lost in one flight. In aviation, when a plane is in danger, Mayday, 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 Mayday word is used. There's no other way to save it. Whether you're alive or not cannot be termed. It's a pilot's way of communicating danger. Flight AI 171 took off at just 160 meters, and for example, when we are in vehicles, our speed goes up to 60, 70, 100 is fasted. But for the flights, it was at the speed of 322. And while after reaching 160 meters of height, by 1:38 p.m. to 1:39 p.m. the flight crashed. The pilot realized that it could not gain altitude. He tried and immediately contacted the ATC, announcing Mayday, 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 the air traffic control. Before the ATC could respond, the plane crashed, just 10 seconds after the distress call. Mayday, Mayday, Mayday is used in situations where fire on board, bird strike, or cabin decompression, engine failure, or any similar critical danger. That is when Mayday is used to inform the air traffic control. Had the aircraft crashed into water, maybe there was a chance of survival, but that did not happen. Now, in Air India flight AI 177, there were 242 passengers on board. One survived. Here's the breakup of the passengers. 241. 169 were Indian, 53 were British, 7 were Portuguese, and 1 was Canadian. The lone survivor was Indian. Among the 241 who died, 12 were pilots and crew members. Only one survived and 241 died. Tata Group, which owns Air India, responded quickly. Chairman N. Chandrasekaran said that Tata is deeply anguished by the tragic events. He apologized to the family of the victims, especially in UK, in other countries who are waiting for their loved ones to return. Same with Portugal and in Canada. He expressed deep anguish. To support the grieving families, Tata Group announced a compensation of 1 crore to each family of those who died in the crash. They also promised to cover all damages and repairs to the government building and all medical costs for the injured. It does not clearly specify whether it would cover the costs of students who died in the building from the plane crash. Tata only clarified for its passengers who were in the plane crash. While Tata has also openly made a statement on its compensation, Air India company will also do the same. Tata's compensation is voluntarily a gesture from the company. Air India is legally required to pay compensation under an international law known as Montreal Convention. Montreal Convention is an international law that India is a part of. For example, we have United Nations Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities, which India was a signee of and drafted, made a new law, disabilities law in India. Similarly, India is a signee to the Montreal Convention. It compensates passengers or their families in in cases of in cases of crash. Under Montreal Convention, there is a thing known as SDR. So you have the various currencies. You have yen, you have dollars, you have pounds. So SDR is not connected to the regular currency. It is its own international currency. So it says that it will compensate 1,55,820 SDR to each passenger. Looking at the amount, it feels it's very less, but no, it's not in rupees. It's in SDR. SDR converted into rupees is comes up to almost 1.5 to 1.8 crores, meaning that whether you convert the SDR into Indian rupees, it is 120 rupees per SDR. SDR is a basket of 5 major global currencies: US dollar, euro, British pound, Japanese yen, and Chinese renminbi. So, like I mentioned, 1.5 to 1.8 crores is the compensation, but it will also vary depending on the family members of the passengers who have died. So it will also vary as per the conversion rates of each country. So let me explain. So 241 people have died in the plane crash. Let's remove the crew members, 12 crew members who are not covered in the Montreal Convention. So Air India would end up having to pay almost 377 crores. This is separate from the Tata Group's compensation. And if it covers passengers and along with the pilots, then it goes up to more than 400 crores. The crew members, with this will have to be reviewed if crew members will be covered, but the compensation is must. What if their family members refuses such compensation and wants to sue the company, blaming them for negligence? This happens in cases of baggage lost, flight delays. So companies can be sued. So then the compensation can go way more than just 1.5, 1.8 estimated amount. That is the power of the family members. It's a new learning for us to understand what Montreal Convention is. Air India must legally pay the basic compensation and will face a huge loss. The plane alone costs 1040 to 1450 crores, which will be covered by the insurance. And then it has to cover the compensation for the passengers, and then for the building, and then for the injured. And of course, they are liable under the Montreal Convention, which one side Tata Group is also covering, and the other side Air India will also be covering. But then again, the family members would not be happy with such compensation because they've lost their loved ones. Many people believe that airlines like Air India, Indigo, or SpiceJet, and many more, also make the planes that they fly. But that is not true. Let's explain with a simple example. When you book a cab on Uber, Ola, or Rapido, or Mero, do those companies also make the cars? No. The cars are made by companies like Hyundai, Suzuki, Chevrolet, and many more. The cab services only use these cars under various companies. Similarly, airlines buy planes from large aircraft manufacturing companies like Boeing, here in this case, Dreamliners, which Air India company places an order for, be it 10, 20 aircrafts. That's how you get Indigo. Indigo does the same, SpiceJet as well. Boeing was once known for making the safest planes, but that's not the case anymore. Boeing before was known for making the most advanced and safest aircrafts. But over the last several years, people have started to lose trust in Boeing planes. Anyone who books flights chooses other aircrafts as opposed to Boeing. Boeing is known for its technology and it was doing really well. But after 2010, when Airbus launched its Neo series, it was known for being fuel efficient with advanced technology. This made airlines started buying more Airbus, Boeing, as opposed to, and Boeing's sales started dropping. So Boeing started to cut costs in engineering and aircraft body tech structure. Unfortunately, this compromised safety. It became more about profit than passenger safety. Since then, Boeing planes have been crashing repeatedly. In 2018, 189 people died, and another instance in 2019 where it killed 157 people. Both these crashes involved the same technical issue, a software called MCAS, which is known to help the plane gain at altitude during takeoff. It operates automatically. With this new software, they are supposed to educate the pilot, but the pilots are not aware of. The pilot reduces it into some minor technical glitch, but this could cause them to crash. And now everybody's blaming Boeing. And because of many multiple crashes, major court cases are ongoing in America. And over $2.5 billion in compensation have been paid to families. However, no one has been jailed. I will share further in depth about this in connection to the Air India flight AI-171 from Ahmedabad. They're looking into the black box, they're looking into the details of the technical glitch. Why did the altitude halt? Was it a bird strike? There's no clarity on this. And people were immediately burned because the plane was carrying 1.25 lakh litres of fuel all the way from Ahmedabad to London. So this is not easy. Interestingly, a passenger who flew on the same aircraft earlier from Delhi to Ahmedabad shared a video showing problems. Buttons on the seats weren't working, air conditioning wasn't functioning. He posted the video online and got off in Ahmedabad, which crashed. The same plane crashed later. Let us keep watching iSearch News for more updates.